in, everybody. I am your chef host, Chef Mo, and of course, you know where you are. It is all about Hands for Hunger's The Budget Gourmet. And if you can't tell, with the theme, with the orange, with everything that's going on, it's fall. It's fall, we're here, the weather's beautiful. Of course, we are getting into all of sort of the traditional foods that we love. We're getting into some of those familial feelings and scents and things that we love. But more importantly, I think this is where we start thinking about things that we're thankful for, things that we're grateful for. And we start thinking about, I don't know, pumpkin pie, turkey, herbs, because you got to season your birds, right? I'm just saying. And so who better around this time of year, when of course we think about the cornucopias of it all, than to have our own professional green thumb, maverick, all things farming, ta-da! Our special guest for the day. Say hello to Mr. Philip Davis. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm fantastic. So if you don't know who this... I don't even know where to start. But if you know who he is, first of all, he is the director of BAIC. He is also the owner of Eden Farming Club. I've had my first time meeting you Earth Day.
That's correct.
I think downtown. Took one of my first plants home that day. It's not alive anymore, but that's not the point. I tried, but you brought so many different things for us today to try. Mm-hmm. And I was actually inspired by fall, by Thanksgiving, to think of a vegetable that is usually a pantry item that around this time of year, you can't escape it. You can't run away from it. It's falling off you in the food store aisles. It's chasing you at food drives. It's on everybody's menu. And of course, it is the illustrious pumpkin. Yes, canned pumpkin to be precise. That's right. As you know, this time of year, there's the pumpkin pie, there is the pumpkin rolls, and of course, fresh pumpkin as well makes an appearance.
And spices.
Yeah, and then the spices, the cinnamons, exactly. Mm-hmm. All these different things, all these different elements kind of come out. And for me, I was trying to find a different way to introduce this item that, as much as we see it as sweet, it can also be quite savory. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to get into it, but first of all, welcome on in.
Thank you very much.
Are you familiar around the kitchen?
I am.
Fantastic. I love when I have a good co-chef in a new chef. So I would tell people this is our kitchen now. All right, so we all going to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. Okay? Good stuff. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to make a pumpkin bread pudding. We're going to get that started. We're going to get that to the oven. Have you ever had a pumpkin bread pudding?
Yes, I have.
Is it not fantastic?
Listen.
It's
once
delicious.
It's done good.
Okay,
yeah.
So you can tell me if you make yours like I make mine or not, but also we're going to try to keep this as simple as possible with ingredients that you should have at home. We're talking some old bread, some cinnamon, some sugar, some eggs, and of course, we're going to add some pumpkin in there too also as well, all right? Mm-hmm. So first of all, tell me a little bit about what we have here we can get into, but how did you get here? How did you become the green thumb that you are? While you're doing that, I'm just going to start cutting up my bread for bread pudding, okay? So if you do know
not a problem.
Anything about bread pudding, they always say it's better with old bread, aged bread where some of the moistures kind of come out of it. So you can leave your bread out just to kind of start to air dry, or you might just have some bread ends. If you're like my family, you know, we have the ends, the two ends that nobody likes to eat in the bag of the bread. Those get put in the freezer, and so they get stored until we have enough of them, and then mommy's like, it's bread pudding time. So usually by this time of year, we have enough bread ends to make quite a few bread puddings, and they make an appearance at every family event. I also love remixing a bread pudding. I've done bread pudding cheesecakes. I've done bread puddings with dried fruit, like the cranberries, the craisins, and things that are around now.
Never tried that.
You can add chocolate chips to it. You can do like a blueberry or mixed fruit in there. There's lots of ways to do it. I've actually done a fruit cake bread pudding, like for Christmas, because I really like fruit cake. But I was like, well, how do we make this maybe a little bit more approachable? So bread pudding for everybody. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We already started cutting some of this up. I'm just going to show you how I started slicing up some of this bread. Now, you're going to mix it with some wet ingredients, right? So you don't want to cut it up too small, because when you introduce the wet ingredients, it's going to just turn to mush. So you want to make sure that you leave them in kind of like good-sized chunks. So when you toss it all together, it'll kind of hold it, and then it'll just hang out. You know, you don't want to break all the way down. It's another reason you prefer to have dry bread. So you pass me that bowl, because we already started cutting some up. And now, as I continue to cut, I'm going to invite you to tell us about how you became so invested and interested in all things green, all things sustainable. By the way, all these things are edible in some way or another, right? They have health benefits, they're teas, they're herbs, they're seasonings. And you can actually talk us through some of what we have here as well.
Oh, absolutely. So to start off with, Mo, I'm an athlete. So I swam, so all other athletes and stuff like that, our bodies are machines.
Correct.
So you need the correct nutrients inside your body. So that's how I got into growing everything inside your garden. If you would notice, when you go to the food store, some of the stuff that you would purchase wouldn't really smell as fresh as what you could get it straight from your yard.
Got you.
That's because some of the nutrients are lost within the first 24 hours that they're picked.
Oh.
So things like spinach and stuff like that loses 95% of its nutrients within the first 12 hours that it's been picked.
Oh, wow. So when we're buying these things from the store, we're definitely not getting these at their, maximum capacity of health.
You're just getting calories. You're not going to get any nutrients and stuff like that. So what I do with Eden Farming Club, I promote that you grow these things inside your yard to complement what you have. So you don't have to have this full-fledged farm inside your yard.
Right.
But you're going to use certain things where that you can complement with your dishes.
Okay.
So what we brought here today, I have some mint. That's the chocolate mint specialty. So you can use that inside pretty much any
you've already
dish.
teased me with that because you were telling me that I need to try a mojito with it, and now I'm
I want to reach across
I wish I brought the rum because we could have had a cocktail with this as well.
So, like I was saying, once you have the fresh ingredients, pretty much crush them. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Chocolate mint is not the regular mint.
Okay, so that smells like a York peppermint patty. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, you literally can smell the chocolate and the peppermint at the same time.
Absolutely.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And then, of course, you being a chef, you would know that your flavors actually start from your nose.
Yes, absolutely.
So being able to smell it nice and fresh, you get a little bit more flavor taste to it as well.
That is beautiful.
So all these items are items that you can grow directly inside your kitchen from clippings just like this, or you can put them inside the soil. Again, oregano. And right now the fat.
We're not usually used to seeing it look like this, right? Most people just buy the oregano at the store. It's dried, it's crushed up, it's in the jars. But this in its original form, oh my gosh.
Telling you. And
it's just... It's like, why are we even buying this stuff off the shelf?
Exactly.
But to your point, and how easy are these to grow for yourself, potted?
These can be purchased straight from the food store. All of these items. As simple as taking off the bottom leaves.
Right.
Every node where the leaves came from.
Correct.
Once that's touching soil or water, you're going to get roots from every last piece of those.
Really?
So within 3 weeks, you would have roots from something that you purchased from the store.
And you can just continue to grow it over and over again. So these I know, because green onions, first of all, these are huge. You grew these in your yard?
Yes.
God, I gotta get mine off my windowsill. But these I know are super sustainable. Like I know that you cut off to a certain point, you put these just in some water and...
Right there to the thickness?
Yeah.
When you go to the food store, look for these roots.
Okay.
Once they have a good enough roots like that.
So like this one's a little...
That's fine.
Yeah.
That would grow.
Okay.
Put it straight in the ground, same thing. Cut in an angle.
Right to where the white really becomes white then.
Cut it at an angle, and this will continue to grow. Within a week or so, this will grow right back up here.
That's beautiful.
All right.
See, we're also teaching you here today, all right? We're giving you sustainable lessons to life and living while we also fall into our pumpkin and delicious things. All right, so I'm going to pause you right quick just to let you know what I'm going to do next as we put together our bread pudding. We've chunked up our bread here. Super simple. Now, ordinarily, I feel like I'm going to get yelled at for this because, you know, people would typically have the wet separate and then you pour it into the whatever else. So that's probably what I should be doing. So I'm going to put that into the pan that we're actually going to bake this in, this bread. And again, if you have a casserole dish, go right ahead. I don't like having to redo the baking things, okay? So personally for me, I want to be able to make everything right in here, and when it's done, everybody's had the last piece. I'm probably just going to throw it away. I'm going to be honest with you. That's where I am at with that. But also, if these are reusable, these pans, I'm promising you I'm going to reuse them. Okay, so we want to get our wet ingredients into this bowl. Cream, if you want to use heavy cream, you can, that's fine, because usually you have a can of evaporated milk lying around. All right, we have some eggs, about 3 eggs here. We're going to go in with some sugar. You can make this as sweet as you need. All right, and then I have cinnamon and nutmeg that I'm going to put in. I think nutmeg is so slept on. It's such a beautiful... Do you grow nutmeg?
No, not yet.
Okay, because we would have a whole different conversation. I'm going to be like, drop the pin. But I love nutmeg in so many different applications, sweet and savory, actually. A little bit of nutmeg we're going to use later in a savory app that is absolutely to die for, right? So we're just going to whisk all of our wet ingredients together. All right, just to make sure we kind of have that. Our stove is talking to us today. Let's lock you up. All right, great. So we're just going to whisk all those ingredients together before we kind of pour them over. And if you feel like you need more milk, go ahead and add some more. We're just kind of eyeballing it for what fills my ramekin. But we have more wet going in, right? So this pumpkin is the puree of the can. Now, be careful when you're buying the canned pumpkin. Sometimes it's already sweetened for pumpkin pie. That's not typically the one you want. Certainly not if you're making like soup or something savory. If you are making it something sweet like a pumpkin roll or a pie or even this, it'd be fine. But you don't want to pick up the pie filling can by accident when you're trying to make the pumpkin soup, because that becomes something else altogether, all right? So we're just going to kind of mix this here together.
So that puts in a nice body to it.
It's going to give it like a custardy kind of like thickness. It's also going to help with the bind on keeping the bread nice and moist, right? So now we're going to put our bread back in here. And we're just going to make sure it all gets coated with this.
Want this to the side?
Well, we're going to pour it right back in it before we put it in the oven, actually. So we could, no, that's fine. Hey, you're proactive. I'm here for the proactivity. Just going to get a spoon here so we can toss this over, turn this, and then we're going to put it back in. I also love the color. See how it changes the color of everything? So these were rolls that I had before. These are like some coconut dinner rolls. You can use any kind of bread. You have white, wheat, raisin bread, cinnamon raisin, whatever you typically have is fine. But you really want to make sure that you kind of use something that is thicker than not, because you want it to be able to hold up to the wetness that's kind of coating the bread, right? And you don't want to break it up. You just want to make sure that it's all kind of together. I've had my oven preheating already. It's at 375. Now this bread was already kind of sweet. I did add some sugar, but I'm not one for overly sweet desserts. Personally, that's just me. So I try not to do too much extra when it comes to that. All right.
It already looks good though.
So, right, and I love that orange color that you get from the pumpkin. So we're gonna spread this out. Gonna make sure that everything is kind of, where it needs to be. I am gonna ask you to get me a little bit more cream there. You can pour it right into this bowl. Right there. Because I like to just go in with a little bit more pumpkin.
You say when?
That should be good.
Okay.
I'm gonna use this just because I like to break down some of the texture. And then I'm just gonna, a very talkative stove today. And we're gonna put this in like dollops throughout it before we cover it with some cinnamon sugar, and then just stick it in the oven, all right? So I just like to take it like this.
A little topping on top.
Yeah, and we just kind of put that in there. Get all that in, all right? And again, we just want to make sure it's kind of evenly into the pan. You can add chocolate chips to this. You could put coconut on top. You could go crazy, right? We're going to sprinkle this with some cinnamon sugar. I'm going to stick this into our oven. We're going to let this bake for about 30 minutes or so. And we're going to come back and check it in a bit, all right? But definitely stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to make a great pumpkin soup, all right? We'll be back in a second.
The Budget Gourmet. We making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the Budget Gourmet.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero.
so good. Literally so good.
Ragu kettle cooked with homemade taste.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a Dave's single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
The Budget Gourmet. We're making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the groove. The Budget Gourmet.
We are back, folks. Welcome on in. It is Chef Mo, and I'm here with my good buddy Phil. Can I call you Phil?
Of course you can.
Phil now. And if you were here with us for the first segment, you know we already have our pumpkin bread pudding in the oven, and we are going to now make us a delicious pumpkin soup. Yes, pumpkin is our ingredient for the day. Now, before I let Phil here start making this pumpkin soup, I saved a couple of the rules that we had. I'm going to make some quick croutons here. Have you ever made your own croutons?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah. It's really easy. We're just gonna take a little bit of kind of like some olive oil here, and then I have like a little mixed seasoning blend, and we're just gonna toss this all together, stick them into the oven, and we're gonna save these for our soup. Just as like a little topping, right? So we're just gonna zhuzh these together, make sure they all touch a little bit of everything. And I'm gonna stick these in the oven, and we're gonna start soup building. So while I do this, tell me a little bit about what is seasonal this time of year. Because I think a lot of times we just go to the food store, we just pick things up. We're not really thinking about like,
Not really knowing when it grows.
is this
When it's its peak.
supposed to be? Is it at peak? Are we getting max nutrients out of it? What right now is kind of in its best form?
Well, to start off with, I'd have to say that we are in zone 11. So Florida is zone 9A, 9B.
Okay.
So what will grow here, we don't really have that frost season, all right?
Got you.
So, like right now what we're growing, all of our kales, our spinaches, loofahs.
Right. Talk to me
Yep.
about the loofah, because you told me loofah was family to
As I
pumpkin.
switch over here, absolutely.
And I couldn't understand how that was the case.
The pumpkin and the squash. So the season is loof, squash, gourds, beans, stuff like that. They
Okay.
grow right now. Loofah sponge, fully matured. This is the first sponge that we use from
You know, I
cleaning
thought
up.
loofah sponge came from the ocean.
A lot of people think
I genuinely thought loofah sponge came from the ocean. But you were like, yeah, and loofah's in season. I was like, did he hear me say pumpkin?
I wish I had a young enough one for you to get. This is the young loofahs.
Really? I
As-
thought it was like bitter melon or something.
So, just as you say that, as you crack it open, you can see the texture in it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that is the young one.
I have to smell everything.
A little bit,
Okay.
a little bit younger than that, it wouldn't be as fibrous, and this would be good to do your zucchinis and everything like that.
So this is
All right.
edible.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, now I'm just confused. You bathe with it? Do you eat it? I don't know.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna bathe with it, and when it's young enough, you get all your nutrition and stuff off of it as well. Vitamin A and vitamin C. So that's your immunity, that's your eyesight, just pretty much healthy for your whole body.
Okay. So,
And
No,
to complement all of this, when we grow, like we were saying before, to grow all of your seasonings, you can purchase these from the food store.
which, by the way, we will be using some of these from your garden today. In fact, I want you to pluck some sage for me to put into our soup.
Will do right after I
Yeah.
show you the propagation
Yeah,
of
please
these,
do.
all right? So items like your mint, your oreganos, your thyme, onion chives, garlic chives, all you gotta do is 4 to 6 inches, take off the bottom set of leaves.
Yeah.
Place those right inside a cup of water. Could
Okay.
be transparent or just like this. And you want to put it at a northern window for the intensity of the light. The proper light won't penetrate through
I always have to
the...
think like East Street. Like the only way I can gauge north. I'm like, in relation to East Street North, where am I? Okay, go ahead.
So you just want to make sure that you get a little bit of sunlight into it.
Okay.
You won't get the proper sunlight through windowsills.
Okay.
So you're only going to leave it there for about 2 weeks or so. And you
Okay.
want to change that water probably about every 2 to 3 days. Anytime that it starts to get a little bit of color on it, you want to switch it out because of the bacteria and stuff.
All right.
But to make it a little bit easier for them to propagate, you want to use something like root tuning powder.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have that, a natural root tuning powder would be honey. So a lot of people should have honey inside their fridges and stuff like that. That just keeps away the bacteria
Your
and
eyes
fungus.
burning yet?
Not as yet.
Okay, good.
Not as
Just
yet.
mine. Glad I took
All
this
right.
part over.
So it's simple to grow your own seasonings inside the house. And once again, we know that the flavors start from our nose.
Correct.
So if you can smell those straight away, you're good to go, all right?
All right.
All right, and you said that you wanted some sage?
Yes, I'm gonna let you pluck some for me and slice them up for me a little bit, and then we can throw it into the pot. So in the pot now, I just have some onion.
So the same way, if you don't have garden space,
Yeah.
you can use pots. As you're leaving your house first thing in the morning, you can take these, water them, put them right by your doorstep.
Okay.
And when you're coming back into your house, you pick them right back up, put them right inside. All
I'm
right?
not mad at it. All right.
You want a lot of sage, a little bit of
Just
sage?
a little. I'm gonna add some water here.
About 4 or
So we can
5
start
liters or
simmering
so.
this down. So while you were educating us
Mm-hmm.
on how simple it is to actually keep sustaining these beautiful herbs, what I did was I started sauteing down some onion with some fresh thyme, also one of the items that you brought here for us. And I was blooming some cinnamon and some nutmeg as well. And I'm gonna have you also put some finely chiffonaded sage in here just to get our herb base for our pumpkin soup going. And again, this is super simple. The most complicated part of this is genuinely the herbs that you choose to put inside this thing, right? So this is gonna be pumpkin, pureed pumpkin. Please know that if, for example, you wanted to use your own pumpkin or pumpkin that's fresh or whole from the food store, you would cut it up and you would boil it in this same water, the same way, just to get that flavor out of it. Once it's softened, you could put this whole thing into a blender, blend it down, and then reheat it again. But we don't have to do all that because we already got the pureed pumpkin there going for us, all right? So actually, can you just like cut up a
Little bit
little
more.
bit finer for me?
Not a
Then you
problem.
can go ahead and drop it right in here. We're gonna bring this up to a boil. Just adding a little bit of seasoning here. Garlic salt action.
Trying to get my knife action in
Yeah, man,
today.
get them skills together. I
See
believe in
that?
you. I believe in you. So, since we are talking about Thanksgiving, what is your favorite part of the holiday season or the Thanksgiving season?
Pretty much just hanging out with family and stuff.
Yeah.
Because, that's the time when we don't really have to do school. I'm a school teacher as well, too.
Okay.
So that's my time off where we just get to enjoy people that you wouldn't normally get to be around. you know?
Right. Yeah. So a big part of this time of year for me, I think, is when people start to get very community oriented. Obviously, we have food drives a lot of the time. I don't know if you remember growing up in church, you take your canned goods in and you take them up to the altar and they'd like collect them, or at school they do like all these drives.
The big bin.
The big, right,
Yep.
the big bin. I feel like canned pumpkin is when this always kind of like shows up. These are just one of those items. This is also the time of year, I think, when the pantry and places like Hands for Hunger's Pantry and other food kitchens kind of get the best out of our giving spirits, whatever that might be. And of course, this is the great time to, think about buying the items that you like personally. I think often we kind of go, oh, we get them tuna, we get them tomato paste. The pantry usually already has those items. And we kind of encourage people around this time to think about the items that you like the random thing that you might not have thought. Like, I love black beans. I love baked beans, you know what I mean? Sometimes you think, I went into the pantry, they had like these sleeves of white chocolate, like beautiful white chocolate pellets. And I was like, I want white Belgian chocolate. So the idea is, give things that like can be more fun, give things that are less accessible, give the things that you might not think that they want to have, because that brings them a little bit more excitement and things like that. As well,
That
you know
makes
what I mean?
me think about the other side of squash that you don't get to see as well, too.
What's
The
this
flowers.
Oh, yes.
They are, beautiful.
Edible. I've had those like stuffed and like fried, and oh my god,
Almost
so
like
good.
an okra texture and stuff
Yeah,
when you chew it.
so delicious.
Absolutely.
They're really, really good. I think we don't often think about how many different parts of the plant and how many different like cycles or lives there is in like one individual thing, right?
Well, that's the benefits of when you're actually growing it yourself.
Correct.
Because you
That's
get
true.
those
That's
parts
true.
of it, just like the leaves of sweet potatoes and stuff like that. Those are great inside salads and stir fries as well.
Absolutely. So I'm just going in here with some bouillon powder, which I guess would be like the Maggi or whatever else, but I found like a huge jar of it is already in powdered form, so it's like the best thing in my life at this point. So anything that's broth based, I always like to use that as my base. So like any of my soups, and they have them in vegetable and beef and chicken, however you want to get it, right? So as
Getting
we
it now.
bloom, yeah, so I'm gonna let you put your sage in there.
Nice.
Sage for me is one of these like herbs that I always think about around this time of year, whether it's for your turkey, whether it's for your...
Good.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay.
whether it's for your turkey, whether it's for your stuffing, like your dressing, your casseroles, whether you do it, just incorporating it into savory things, sweet things. I don't know why sage makes me think of Thanksgiving. It's just like that. You automatically saw, I was like, just sage. Like, I need sage. And I can't find it in the food stores often. But again, it's one of those things that you can grow.
Well, now you know me, so you can definitely count me.
I'm not gonna not have sage at this point. Like, that's blasphemous. All right, so like I said, this is a super simple. I can't find where I put my spoon there. This is super simple soup, right? We're using things that we already have, and of course you can add to it, you can subtract from it, but in here we've sauteed some, thank you.
There you go.
We've sauteed down some onion, we put in some cinnamon, you can use curry powder, cumin, all those things too. I also put some allspice in here. I just love spices with pumpkin, particularly around this time, right? So spices and herbs. So we're gonna go and we're gonna put our pumpkin directly in here now. And of course this is gonna be the thickness that is the soup. And I'm gonna just whisk that in.
And waste not, want not, whilst you're in Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
The pumpkin seeds itself can be seasoned and baked as well.
Absolutely, and they're delicious. And they are delicious. Let me see, I'm gonna save some of this because we actually have another dish to make with some pumpkin. And I wanna make sure that, oh, there we are. We have enough of that left.
This looks
I love
pretty good.
stretching a soup, an ingredient, I tell you. All right, so we're gonna let that sit. We're gonna let that percolate. I just have some corn, and I have some like scallions there, some green onions that by the way, is my favorite. Anybody who knows me as a chef knows that's my tell. Like y'all can parsley yourself to death. I'm gonna put green onions on everything because I feel like if you're gonna use it for garnish, it should also have function. It should also have flavor. It should add something actually to the dish, right? All right, so we're gonna let this hang out for a little bit. I think I might just add a little bit more pumpkin in here. But you can see it's already kind of like thickened up. It gave it a little bit of body. We're gonna throw the corn in there for some texture in just a little bit. We're gonna let this simmer, check on our croutons, and when we come back, I have a faux pasta. Anyway, I got a pasta with pumpkin coming up for you too also as well, all right? So make sure you stay right here. We're doing pumpkin. Chef Mo. It's, of course, my friend Phil, Mr. Green Thumbs, and we are thankful that you are here with us. So stick around.
The Budget Gourmet. We making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the groove.
The Budget Gourmet.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Ragu.
So good. Literally so good.
Ragu kettle cooked with homemade taste.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Tings Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
The Budget Gourmet. We making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the groove.
The Budget Gourmet.
And we are back, folks, and it here smells like the holidays. It smells so good. It's herbaceous, it's sweet, it's toasty. We pulled our pumpkin bread pudding out of the oven, and that is it sitting here. Look how beautiful that color is.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm gonna put this out of our way for a minute, and of course when we get ready to eat this and cut, we will come back to that and get that all sauced up, right? So in the meantime though, we were talking about seeds, even from the pumpkin seeds have formed, and the pumpkins of application. And since we were talking about it, I think, I won't lie to you, one of my biggest fears is that I don't have the green thumbs that you have to keep things going. But I've often thought, especially during the pandemic, we saw so many people starting small gardens, becoming more sufficient for themselves. And of course, you know, Hands for Hunger is a big part of their teaching, beyond it being very educational, is this idea of self-sustainability and sustaining things that we can for ourselves. You were making a comment that you haven't had to buy fruits or vegetables from a store.
In like 7 to 8 years.
That's insanity. I buy sweet peppers weekly. And of course, that's something that we know can be grown here, right? So how easy is this process? I see there's some seedlings here. And while you do that, I'm going to start a little quick pasta dish that I wanted to do for you.
All right.
Faux pasta, remember? Okay.
Let me switch over to this side.
And I'm going to talk you guys through this, and we're going to put this all together, and then we're going to taste our soup. We're going to have our entree, and we have dessert. Look what we did today. Full meal, all pumpkin and fill.
All right, the difference between a novice and I guess you would say a pro is just the know-how, all right? So from when you're starting off your seeds, pumpkins or loofahs, each fruit or vegetable will give you about 100 seeds inside of it. So you don't really need to go out and purchase anything.
Okay.
As simple as your fingers, going down to about the first knuckle inside of some loose soil, all right? Take your seeds, place them right inside of them, and then just cover it up.
And that's it.
That is it. Now, the know-how to not destroy your plant.
Speaking of know-how, we are making a pumpkin Alfredo pasta, by the way. I think y'all should know what we doing. Continue. I'm going to start cooking this pumpkin down again. Our heavy
So the
cream in it.
know-how not to destroy your seedlings when you're starting off.
Okay.
So I have this, and there's a bowl of water. You want to be able to place your pot inside the bowl of water, and what will end up happening is the soil will actually wick up. So you
it'll
can
take
start
what
to
it
see,
needs.
you
It's
can see
already
the water
going.
already starting to
Oh,
go.
wow.
So with your plants, the top set of the roots want to be there for oxygen. They really don't want to have water on them at all.
Okay.
It's only the bottom set of roots that want to have the water. All right? So it's going to soak that up. If there's not a way for the water to get away from your seedling, or you're watering it from the top, you'll end up with an anaerobic situation.
What does that mean?
That means that there's not enough oxygen getting to your roots.
Okay.
So they're going to pretty much rot away.
Okay.
And your plant destroys itself from the bottom coming up.
Got you.
All right.
Okay.
So it's just that simple, all right, guys? At the beginning stage of when you're putting the seeds in, you can start off just by putting the water on the top just a little bit and then leaving it.
Okay.
If you wanted to leave this on the inside like a greenhouse effect, you can put a plastic bag over it, or maybe one of those big gallons of water, cut the bottom off and cover it up so it keeps all the humidity on the inside of it.
Alrighty.
Growing it inside your house. The UV rays that are coming in through your window, and you want it towards a northern window, all right? The UV rays that are coming in through the window are not that intense as you would actually have it on the outside. So if you started your seedlings on the inside of your house by the window, you would end up finding that the stems are thinner and it's not going to support the plant standing up. So it's withering away. So you want to be able to, what we call that is acclimation.
Okay.
So the shorter, thicker stems that you...
long. It's actually making sense to me. I mean, it's
The
some of
shorter,
them-
thicker stems that can support a plant have actually been able to take in the proper UV rays from the sun.
Okay.
All right? So that's basically what you're looking at when you're starting off. And just like a baby versus a child, we can take in more intense heats, the suns, the breezes and stuff, when a baby would not be able to.
Got
So
you.
you have to be able to treat your seedlings that same way, delicately like a baby, until it grows up and then it can feed itself.
Huh, very nice. So if somebody wanted to just get started with kind of trying to create their own,
Seasoning garden?
herb garden, like
Okay.
where would you tell them to start? What's a good place to start?
I'd
with?
actually tell them to start off in the food store. Purchase what you see right in front of you, and once it's healthy enough, so your rosemaries, your thymes, definitely onion chives, garlic chives, fever grass. These are things that you can leave inside water inside your house for
Right.
about 5 to 14 days. Once you start to see the first set of roots coming off of them, then you can start to introduce them to the soil. Feeding your plants inside the soil is what I had missed out on. You would preferably get something that is water soluble.
Okay.
So people will go to the store, they'll get their fertilizers, and that fertilizer, if it's not water soluble, it's the granules, it's actually going to take about 2 to 3 months for that nutrition to get into the soil to go into the plant.
Wow.
So you're looking for something that is completely based, something like a 5-5-5, a 10-10-10, a 20-20-20. What that basically means is just balanced out between its NPK.
Okay.
All right? You can mix those down. Younger plants, you don't want it too intense. So if it's asking you for a pinch towards a gallon, you want a half a pinch. And dilute it down. And you can feed it into the plant for about every 4 to 5 days.
If it's a pinch to a gallon, then it's a half a pinch.
Correct. You just want to
Okay.
dilute it down.
Okay. I'm
All
sticking
right?
with
Not
you. I'm
as
sticking with
strong
you.
to start off with.
All right.
All right?
Keep going here. Moving some of your plants.
Yeah, and then what we were speaking about before as well too, your energy actually goes into the food as well too.
Okay.
So Mother Earth grounds us as well. So I like to tell people to do a lot of their farming barefoot or barehanded.
I've been hearing a lot lately about this idea of grounding. What is that? What is that energy transference about? What does that really mean?
So there was a study done, I think it was by Howard University, where they had a bunch of rats. And they tested the rats with them being in contact with soil.
Right.
And they found out that once you're in contact with soil, there's a stress relieving enzyme within the soil that actually calms you down. So what I used to use my farm as, stress relieving. I would get away from the external world. I'd go into my farm with Mother Nature, and whatever problems that you had
Right.
would pretty much be taken out through your souls by you touching the ground.
So is this thing true? They always say that, like, your energy transfers into the plants that you're building, and so if they're not staying alive, it might be because like there's like an unsettlement in you, or there's like is that like how am I the problem? Is my energy the problem?
It is very true. There was also another case where they had two identical plants side by side. One was being fed positivity,
Okay.
words of affirmation. I love you. I care about you. You're going to do well. Those plants thrive within about 2 to 3 days versus the other plant where they're telling the plant, I hate you. You're going to amount to nothing.
So you're telling me when
That
you
plant died.
are walking around the house cursing to the moon and the plants are just in the space, those plants are sitting there going, this crazy gal, oh Lord. All I want to do is flourish, and she just killing my shine. Like, she's taking the chlorophyll out of my leaves right now. She don't even know it. Like, that's what's happening?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So in the Eden Farming Club, what
Energy,
I
serious.
like to preach is the reciprocal relationship with Mother Earth.
Okay.
So you're putting that love into the earth. You're putting the seeds into the earth. You're getting the fertilizer into the earth. You're watering it. You're making sure all the weeds are gone. You have a great relationship with this woman. Mm-hmm. And because she now knows you internally, because you're dealing with her, she's going to provide you with everything that you need. So the soul food actually starts from us farmers.
Ah, okay. Okay. I'm not mad at you. You're making a little bit of sense there. Dr. Phil Green Thumbs. I don't know what else to call you at this point. Okay, so just to catch you guys up at home as we were getting our science lesson as well as our cooking lesson, what we're doing here essentially is a pumpkin Alfredo. I know it sounds crazy, but it's actually kind of delicious, right? We just had a little bit of pumpkin left. These are our croutons that we took out of the oven. They're going to go with our soup that's still simmering. We're sauteing down or partially boiling / cooking cabbage, which is going to like mimic some noodles. But again, don't worry about the mimic. If you just are like, girl, ain't we got time for cabbage? Make your pasta. Boil your noodles by all means. I'm not going to hold you back. But what we did in here was we put our heavy cream, some crushed red pepper, our pumpkin puree, a little bit of salt and pepper, just for the flavor. Taste it as you go if you need to. And then at the end, once it starts to sort of like start bubbling up a little bit, that's when we put in our Parmesan cheese. That's going to help to like thicken it, give it that creamy element, pull it together. And of course, this here is our noodles, cabbage noodles. I know people at home going, girl, they do cabbage noodles. I do. I want the cabbage noodles, okay? So we're going to make sure that we get these kind of cooked down a little bit. So if people want to go and get their seedlings, or people want to go and start their farm, what are the basic items that they need other than going to get the seeds? Obviously, where can they get their potting supplies? How much soil are we talking about? What do we, you know what I mean? What does that look like? Because I feel like people want to kind of jump right in, but it can be a little overwhelming
Intimidating.
with
Yeah.
like, you know, just how to go. And for people who don't have a yard versus people who live solely in an apartment where they don't have anything with windowsill space, reality being of a yard, how do you kind of figure out how big can I go for you, you know?
As big as you need to go, as small as you need to go, what we do, and inside the Eden Farming Club, it's a club, so we share resources.
See what we did? Run it right
All
back.
right? So what I would do, instead of actually purchasing pot and soil, I make my own pot and soil.
Really? Okay.
Yep. So that's just perlite and peat moss mixed in with each other. If you're going to do a bigger pot with a fruit plant, you're going to probably mix in a little bit of soil inside that as well. All
Okay.
right? But like I say, you obviously are not going to use a whole bale of peat moss or a whole bale of perlite.
Right.
That's going to last me maybe about a year, year and a half. So I can just take a little pinch of that when I see, or I come to your yard, I do a consultation.
Yeah.
I find out how much space there is, how many plants you need.
So you'll do all that. You'll come to
Do
the yard, you'll
all of
come to
that.
the space, you'll
All of
say,
that.
okay, here's what you need, here's what we have, and you'll get the whole thing set up for a
Straight away.
nominal fee.
That is correct.
Because people gotta
Very,
eat.
very correct.
Speaking of eat, I think it's time for us to start taking up some of our dishes. So this was our pumpkin soup that we had percolating over here, right? We were just letting that simmer. And the only thing you guys missed before we covered it and we went to our break is we had added some corn in there. And it smells so good.
It looks very, very
Look what your
good.
herbs did to my pumpkin. All right, so let's take up some of this soup. I wish I had a ladle because I feel like I just want to like dive into this bowl, right? But here we go. We're gonna take some of the soup up, and I'm gonna ask you to grab the croutons actually, so you can throw some croutons on here for us. Now, when the croutons came out of the oven, by the way, if you didn't catch that part, all we did was we cut up some bread that we had left over from our bread pudding, tossed them in some olive oil and seasoning, and when they came out of the oven and they were still hot, I took some of your fresh sage, and I would have just kind of crumbled them over there,
I can smell it.
right? Because it would have still been hot. So you can see you still have now that herbed kind of crouton. And this is just to kind of like, you know, hearty up the soup a little bit. Because I am a person who always like runs out a little bit. You can also add some cheese to this if you wanted, Parmesan and or otherwise. So that's our soup here. All right, we are going to, let me slide you over to that side. We're going to take up our quote-unquote pasta over here, right? So these are our
Sample one of these croutons.
noodles. Yeah, please do. These are our, as you can see, cabbage noodles. All right.
Oh, those are really good.
Say it with your chest. It's all about those herbs, man, all right? And of course, here we would have had our Alfredo sauce kind of percolating, chilling out. We're just gonna pour that over. Just like so, like such. Like so, like such. And because I'm me and I don't like ever like to not do things,
Properly.
you know, like the way people expect me to be doing them. I'll put some more Parmesan cheese on there because I think we should. And then last but not least, I'm gonna cut a piece of that bread pudding and then we're just gonna eat. Like we're just gonna eat things. We're just gonna eat all the things together, all right? All right, let me grab us a dessert plate and we are going to get to where we need to be. All right. Here we
I
go.
just don't want people to be too intimidated not to start off. Because like we were saying,
I agree.
it's that energy that you're giving into the earth. Just make sure you're doing something positive. You know?
I definitely agree with that. So again, let people know where they can find you when it comes to the Eden Farming Club or your socials or wherever else that may be.
Yep, I'm all over Facebook under Philip Davis and also Eden Farming Club. Right now, that's the only spot that you can catch me. My cell phone number, I'm not afraid to give out, 426-8037. Any types of tips, consultations, classrooms. I've even taught farming inside the prison. So you name it,
You ain't scared of that.
I'll be there.
You're there for it. All right, and we're here for this, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to taste what we made today. We have our pumpkin soup with our fresh herbs, fresh from Phil's garden. That could also be your garden, by the way. We have our delicious pumpkin bread pudding. I just made a little bit of sauce with some of the pumpkin that was left. We added some more evaporated milk, a little bit of granulated sugar. Just whisk that down, smooth it out with a little bit of cream, just for a little whatever. And then we have our faux pasta. All right, so Phil, I thank you for being here.
Cheers.
We're gonna eat this food. Hopefully you're gonna get to try some of these recipes yourself and tell us how you guys like them. But it is, you know, it's pumpkin season.
I'm a soup dude.
I love
Yes.
soup. I could eat soup in the summer,
Oh,
but this is something worth falling for.
I'm going in again.
No? Okay. Yeah, man, let's go. And of course, we got dessert for last, so there's that.
It's not heavy. Flavors are perfect.
So good.
Yeah.
Let me get you a fork so you can try this. Our faux pasta
Thank you.
here. I'll switch them for you. Get it closer to you. Oh god, the soup is so good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be eating that for dinner. I'm just gonna let you know.
I might have to get a bowl to go.
That's gonna be what happens. Cause who's cooking again? Tell me these are cabbage noodles.
If you didn't tell me, that would be a Caesar salad, eh?
We're good
All
to
day.
go.
All day.
It is kind of like a warm cabbage Caesar. That's weird. But it's good. The pumpkin you can still taste, but of course it tastes like a traditional Alfredo in itself. Anyway, we're gonna finish eating. We thank you for being here with us each and every week. I have to get you to try my bread pudding.
Yeah, right after this again.
My pumpkin pudding. Okay. And again, the beauty of this pumpkin pudding recipe, substitute the pumpkin with absolutely anything. Get creative. Sometimes you like a couple berries left are in the fridge, blueberries, strawberries, whatever else it is. You can use nuts. You can use
Mulberry?
any kind of berry. Honestly, whatever. You can use some pineapple. You can use mango. Whatever you have, you can incorporate the same energy into this. Now you have to taste this for me because unfortunately, I only can make this with my gluten-free bread.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Out the park. And listen, we did this with practically a large can of pumpkin, right? So a little goes a long way. 1/2 of that large can, made this whole pot of soup. This can feed like 5 or 6 people. So clearly, pumpkin's here for the long haul.
It perfectly complements everything.
Thank you.
Not too sweet, not too heavy. Perfect.
Whole meal, soup,
Perfect.
entree, dessert. Boom. That's what we do here at Hands for Hungers, the Budget Gourmet, where we take everyday items and make it just a little bit gourmet. And we will see you next time with our next guest when we figure out what our next pantry item pick will be. See you soon. Bye. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving, if that matters to you. I'm eating more of this though.
Like, yes.
The Budget Gourmet. We're making it sweet, low cost meals you can't defeat. Tastes so good, it makes you move. Hands for hunger is in the groove. The Budget Gourmet.
We all know there are ways we can help. Your help can go even further. Be an everyday superhero. Donate to Hands for Hunger.
Ragu.
So good. Literally so good.
Ragu kettle cooked with homemade taste.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Ting's Tough Value Meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.